Hello, my name is David Petty, CEO, founder of Kayo3PL. In today's video, I'm going to talk a little bit about what are the pros and cons of having product in multiple 3PL locations around the US. So let's talk a little bit about what it looks like first, okay? Just so we can make sure that we're comparing this with accurate and proper information. There's a lot of misconceptions about this topic. There's a lot of certain beliefs and all that. I'm going to debunk some of them um, and show you how Kayo3PL can help you in certain circumstances. So, single location means you will have a warehouse located in one spot in America. Okay, so that's the left-hand side here. And you'll ship all of your orders to multiple places in the US, and you'll store all of your goods in one 3PL. Okay, that's what a single warehouse location model looks like. On the right-hand side is what we call multi-location. So in this example, you might have a location in New York City, and you might have a location in Oregon or California. Okay, you will split up your inventory. So you'll send inventory to your West Coast location, you'll send inventory to your East Coast location in two separate shipments. Okay, or you'll send it all to one location and it will be packed up and transferred across the country to the other location. Okay, you have to split your inventory, you have to manage two different locations, you have to buy extra inventory to stock at each one. Okay, so that's kind of what single location versus multi-location looks like and how it would function. Now, for multi-location, you can go even further with this and have, a place up here in Montana and a place here in Texas and a place in Florida. You can exponentially amount more of warehouses in a multi-warehouse environment. Do you need multiple 3PLs in the US? Well, that is a difficult question to answer. And there's a lot of misconceptions and a lot of sales pitches and a lot of misinformation, if you want to call it. So, some of the pros of having multiple 3PLs in the US, your shipping costs could be less. But that depends on many different factors, mostly the size and weight of your product. Okay. And you will have quicker delivery time. So, if you got a place in the West Coast, it's going to be quicker to deliver to Seattle than it would shipping from New York to Seattle. Some of the cons, and this is not where you'll hear any salesperson tell you, so be forewarned, you're going to double your inbound costs. Okay, so instead of one container coming into America, you're going to need two. And or you're going to have to send it to one place and then transport half of it across the country to your other warehouse location. You'll also double your storage costs. So if you're on a per bin or per pallet costing system and you have one pallet of goods, you're now going to have to pay storage for two pallets, one on the West Coast, one on the East Coast. Okay? You'll often find you'll have split shipment costs. What happens if you have a lot of SKUs? Okay? And one of those SKUs runs out in the West Coast location. You might have 4 of the other SKUs in that West Coast location. So what you'll have to do is split ship. You'll have to ship the 4 items from the West Coast and the 1 item from the East Coast. You've now doubled your shipping costs on that single order. Okay? Stockout costs. You send goods to your West Coast location, you send goods to your East Coast location. Fine, great, you're going. Well, what happens when you run out of a SKU in one location? You have to transfer from your West Coast location all the way across America that goods, and it has to be received into the other location. All of that will cost you greatly. Okay? There's the cost of cross-country replenishment, which I just talked about. There's a lot of extra complexity now in your supply chain. You have to manage stock in multiple different locations. You have to forecast what your sales will be on the East Coast versus the West Coast. And if you get that wrong, you're going to have too much excess inventory. Okay? The other con about the multi-warehouse environment is you're going to have much higher inventory risk. So maybe you used to order 10 items of your product in a single location. Now you've decided to put your goods in 2 different locations in the US. You're going to have to buy, 20, 2x, maybe 3x the amount So you have enough safety stock in each one of those locations to cover anything above that may or may not happen. Okay, so you need higher capital requirements, and you have much more inventory risk because you have to order more product than you actually need. Okay, so that's some of the pros and cons of a multi-warehouse environment. So let's get into what some shipping cost analysis look like from the perspective of Kayo3PL. Okay, so if you take a look at my New York location, for me to ship a small parcel to LA, it's about $5.52 with my negotiated shipping rates through Amazon. Okay, I went to a competitor and I used their shipping rate calculator, and I looked at their West Coast location, still shipping to LA, and it's more expensive than my shipping cost from New York. The reason is because they are marking up their shipping greatly. Now, it would be true, it would be quicker to ship from my competitor's West Coast location to LA. That is very much true, and there really isn't much I can do about that. But if you look at a cost benefit analysis, it's more beneficial for you to put all of your product in my New York location and have me do all of your fulfillment. Then I went and looked at a competitor's East Coast location shipping rates to LA, and it's even higher than mine. Okay, so I did the same analysis for shipment going to New York, and again, I'm cheaper going to New York than the competitor, even from the competitor's location as well. If you look at a central location, I am cheaper than the competitor's West Coast location and the East Coast location. Okay, to that central location. So again, if you're talking big items, like if you deal with washing machines, then a single warehouse environment will not be beneficial for you. You really do need to distribute that across the US because it's so big and so heavy. Shipping does not make sense sending it across the country. Okay. Here's some other examples of what my all-in cost is from my single warehouse location. So again, when you look at shipping prices, you also have to factor in the pick and pack fee. Okay? And you have to look at the all-in cost. So I might be cheaper on the shipping, but I might be a little bit more than pick and pack. Okay? Or I might be low on pick and pack and have a higher shipping cost. So this analysis here says, what does a one order, one item shipment look like? Well, with us, it's $1.25 per order and 25 cents per item, then a nominal 50-cent charge for envelopes and materials, and then say an approximation of $4.25 in shipping. Your all-in cost for one order item for me is $6.25. Okay? The industry average in the 3PL world for a one order, one item shipment these days is about $12 US. Okay? So my all-in cost is significantly less than anywhere else you'll find. And that's a significant thing you got to think about. So in a multi-warehouse environment, you may save a little bit on transit time and cost, but the all-in overall for all of your orders shipping across America will be cheaper with me in my setup. Okay? I did the same analysis for one order, 10 items, just so you're aware. And again, it comes into about $12.50. And the average is about 24 in the 3PL world. Again, these figures, particularly the shipping, are based off of a very small item. They obviously go up as the size of the package goes up as well. Okay, so I hope this helps you understand the pros and cons of a single location for multi-warehouse location when choosing a 3PL. Be careful for the misinformation and disinformation out there. And the salespeople who like to get a little overeager on some of the things they promise. If you'd like to talk to Kayo3PL about our services in the US and Canada, please reach out to me, Dave at Kayo3PL, or visit kayo3pl.com for more information. Thank you very much. Appreciate it, and have a good day.